I went to the doctor and they took a little sample, skin cancer, and then they had to cut a large section out of it. The skin cancer doctor told me, he said, "What did you do?" And I said, "I carried enriched uranium." And he said, "Where'd you work?" And I said, "Y12." And he said, "Well, this is most definitely related to where you work." We went into a lot of areas to clean up stuff that wasn't authorized. And it wasn't sampled and sent to the lab to see what we was cleaning up. So I would carry enriched uranium against my chest and go and load it on the machine. Yeah, I was handling hazardous materials for years, and I knew it was possible health effect, but I thought I was going to be the one that got out safe, but I wasn't. And what does it say? Trump won, save America. Well, I'd hope if he got the message that he would reinstate it and know how important it is to the sick workers. I think it boils down to the money. They're saving money even though they got the program, but they're saving money by not giving us the benefits we deserve. Hello, Moon. What are you doing, Moon? You got any feed in there, huh? But now he's just an old feller. Contact politicians in the White House, and I hadn't heard anything back from them about helping people out. I would like for Trump to see this and understand how important the SEC board is to the workers, the sick workers. Somebody couldn't cut his mane and put it on the wrong side. There we go. 1980, I'd say, "Don't work there, Steve." That's what I'd tell myself. I made a good living there, but I'm not too happy that I'm this sick. And there's other people sicker than me. I worked at Y12 for 34 years. I developed neuropathy, kidney cancer, skin cancer, and diabetes from all the steroid shots I got.
No.
No, oh, you got a meat on his teeth. I don't know. You ever watch Twilight Zone in black and white?
No.
Oh, it's good. My dad started as a machinist in 1962 at Y12. He retired in 1994, and he worked there, and about the last year after he retired, he got myelogist leukemia, and the only way you can get that is exposure to radiation. That's my dad in Korea. That's him with his truck, leaning on his truck. He was in the Army. It's sad to see him go. I mean, and then I think back, when I first worked there, I know they was dangerous, but I didn't know it was as bad as it was. Maybe this will wake somebody up and they'll see the problem with this.
Worked on this one in a while. That's the work group meetings. These are all the work group meetings that have taken place throughout the history of the Pinellas plant, and there's 2 or 3 in each year.
Feeling, you know, that you gave your life for the American way and America has abandoned you. There is not enough money in the world for anybody to go through those kind of conditions.
I mean, this is hard. I mean, it is hard work, and they usually fail. I get so excited when somebody wants to look at something, because even the dog runs.
I originally got interested in this field because my father worked for General Electric, which was one of the original companies involved in the early Manhattan Project and subsequent development of nuclear weapons. He worked as a design engineer for the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile System and the Nike Missile System. And in 2000, he came down with a very weird, kind of unusual form of bone cancer that was directly related to radiation exposure. So in the last 6 weeks of his life, we couldn't even touch him. His bones would shatter.
To the UAE, I've loved teaching, but an original, I've never opened it. I just don't. It's a calculator set for radioactivity that they use to measure with the bombs.
They felt like they had done a good job and they had helped win the war. Although they've never been recognized as contributing in a positive way to the war, they're kind of our unsung heroes. If it hadn't been for them, and this is from a very objective point of view, if it hadn't been for them, we wouldn't have had the materials that would have created the atomic bombs, and we wouldn't have achieved superiority and security at that time. And so they believed that the U.S. and these companies would never do anything to hurt them. And there are folks around today who still believe that. Even though they're very sick, they won't file for compensation, they won't file a claim, because this was their duty to the U.S. government.
This one, the little community that was called
I'm working with folks who are also working on petitions that should be submitted in the next couple of weeks. And we can't even guarantee they're even going to be evaluated at this point. We know that they've been submitted, but we're at full stop. And these folks, these workers, these unsung heroes, have waited years to have their day, and now there is no guarantee they're going to have their day at all.
Bomb drops in recognition of their work. That's what they got a pin. His work, and you know, the other thing we don't give.
So we depend on the board to have work groups with the folks that are petitioning, to send information off to be evaluated independently, to be able to make sure the workers' voices are heard, to make sure that all the evidence, they provide I can't tell you how important they are to folks filing these petitions. Without the board in place, we don't have that. We don't have an opportunity to have our voices heard, or as a petition representative. It's very difficult for me to represent workers because nobody's listening to them. They're being dismissed.